Hello and a very warm welcome. The 1000th race. It definitely won't be going on classic highlights, but it's a classic landmark. It was an awful Grand Prix, let's be real. Not much happened. Basically, we set off. Ferrari team orders once again. Hamilton jumps Bottas at the start and basically followed the leader till the flags. Okay, I'll see you next time. Adios. Just kidding. In we go. Very unusual. The formation lap, two cars spin. We've had issues with tyre pressure. Max spun and Robert Kubica's spin going to the grid. Very strange. Hamilton, he's had a tough weekend. I mean, he's nowhere in practice. Damage limitation in the qualifying. Although he nearly got pole, he wins the race at the start. Finally, he gets a good start. He's had a shite start in the first two, and then he gets a good start, basically dominates the race after that. Danny Kvyat, he got the Torpedo name at this track. Vettel called him a torpedo. He struck again. He got oversteer, understeer, one of the two. Hit Sainz. Sainz hit Kvyat and then basically hit Norris. Innocent party. Ferrari. Here's where the bullshit comes in. We've seen it time and time again with Ferrari. 2010 Germany, that bullshit at Austria. Ferrari, the most iconic team, but they're a disgrace with team orders. They always have been, Ferrari. 2018 Germany, and then again we see it. We've seen it in Australia. Leclerc wasn't allowed to attack. We've seen it in Bahrain. Give it 2 laps before you can overtake Vettel. Luckily Leclerc was quicker. And then let Vettel pass. Leclerc lets Vettel pass, but why didn't they do it on lap 5? Mercedes were like 2 seconds. They should have done it on lap 5, then let Vettel attack the Mercedes, but Mercedes was just too quick today anyway. So they left it till lap 10. Vettel's too far behind. They should have let Leclerc back through, and then let's have a fight between Ferraris. So we were robbed of that. Leclerc really, they shafted his race today, Ferrari. I mean, they did, 100%. Hulkenberg retires, was running in the points, retirement. Hamilton, wow, 75 wins, they're unbelievable. Max starts the pit stops. He pits, then Vettel pits, and then down the back straight, Max DRS does a Ricciardo dive bomb, locks up. Vettel pushes him a bit wide, Max across the grass. They looked into that. I have no idea why. Yes, he pushed him a little bit on the grass, but that's what we want to see racing. That was personal after yesterday when Vettel jumped in front of Max. Pit stop's done, very stale race, nothing's really happening. Danny Kvyat retires, caused the first lap shunts. Norris, he was an innocent party, he retires, huge damage. And then Pierre Gasly pits for fastest lap. Massive gap. I mean, this has been his best weekend for Red Bull, but he got the fastest lap. So, retirements, Nico Hulkenberg, Kvyat and Norris. Fastest lap, Pierre Gasly. Race rating, 2 out of 10. It's the 1000th race. It won't be on the classic races in years to come. It was a shocking Grand Prix. Driver of the day, I'm giving it Alexander Albon. Sensational. Massive crash in practice 3. Wasn't allowed to do qualifying because of the damage. Starts from the pit lane and scores a point. And especially after his teammate had a horrific race. So I'm giving driver of the day to Albon. You could give it Ricciardo, first points for Renault. Perez, Kimi. Race 3, China, Hamilton wins, Ricciardo first points, Torpedo strikes again. Hamilton wins his 75th race, dominates. I mean, he looked nowhere in practice qualifying, and he's come out and won. It's typical Lewis Hamilton, looks nowhere, wins the race. Got lucky last time in Bahrain, wins it this time. Bottas, basically good weekend, pole position. Oh, also Hamilton leads the championship now. Bottas, second, pole position, lost the race at the start. Solid weekend by Bottas. Vettel, P3, qualified third, finished third. Bullshit team orders once again. Max, fourth. At least he managed to jumped Leclerc, but no real pace for Red Bull. Like, they were never really. I mean, he had a good battle with Vettel, but that was about his highlight of the race. It was a stale Grand Prix. Leclerc, 5th place, he's shafted by Ferrari. They favour Vettel. Was Vettel even? He was quicker than Leclerc. Give him a chance, but they should have switched it back. Leclerc gets absolutely shafted. They keep him out, and then he ends up getting jumped by Max. Gasly P6, his best weekend for Red Bull. He gets the fastest lap. I mean, I'm not going to go too harsh on Gasly. I mean, it's his best weekend, his best result in a Red Bull. Gets the fastest lap, positive, but he's over a minute off Max, which is worrying. Daniel Ricciardo, first points in his new team. Well, is it new team? 3 races down now. First points for Renault after 2 DNFs, so great, solid, best of the rest for Ricciardo. Perez qualifies 12, finishes 8th. Great race by Sergio Perez. He's always there, is Perez. Hugely underrated, good on his tyres. P8 for the Mexican. Kimi Raikkonen, 9th. He probably gave us the best entertainment in the race. Very racy by Raikkonen, once again in the points, and takes Giovinazzi to school. That's 3 races Raikkonen's been in the points, so consistent. Alexander Albon, driver of the day for me, 100%. Crashed in practice 3, takes his Toro Rosso from the pit lane to the points. Albon, though, Vettel was behind him. He pulled over. He must have lost at least a second, 2 seconds. He can't be getting out of the way that easily on blue flags. He needs to learn on that. Lost a lot of time, and that gave Grosjean the chance. Grosjean P11, qualified 10th. Where is Haas? Seem to be good in qualifying. They don't have race pace. Stroll's P12. Stroll pretty. Not a great weekend for Stroll. Magnussen 13th again. Good in qualifying, no race pace. Sainz was Kvyat steers into him, hits Sainz. Sainz hits Kvyat. Kvyat hits Norris. So Sainz, he's had a horrible start to the season. Of course, it wasn't his fault today, but that's 3 races where he's not scored points. Giovinazzi 15th. Starting 19th, finishes 15th. I mean, taken to school again. Giovinazzi's not good enough. I'm going to say it already. I had my doubts before the season even begun. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. What does he do? What does he bring to Alfa Romeo? He loses in qualifying in the race every weekend. He hasn't scored points. What does he bring to the team? I'm even tempted to say Ericsson would be doing a better job. And you know I'm not his greatest fan, Marcus Ericsson. George Russell. I mean, Williams, you can only match them on what they do together, like as a team. Russell beats Kubica again. Russell 16th, Kubica 17th. Kubica, it's painful for me. Painful to see this underrated Polishman. A guy who's got pole position, won a race. Last in qualifying, last in the race. It's horrible to see. Williams really need to pull their finger out their ass. So there we have it. Chinese, the 1000th race is done. It wasn't a classic, it was a snooze fest. But Lewis Hamilton, once again, proves. He's got his haters out there, but once again proves. Nowhere in practice, nowhere in qualifying. He nearly gets pole when he's been nowhere. And then finally gets a good start, dominates the race, leads the championship, and I actually don't think he's had a great season. Australia, I mean, second, got pole, second. Bahrain gets a lucky win, and then looks nowhere in China, wins the race. Qualifying reaction done, race reaction done, join me for driver ratings. Not sure when I'll do that. Maybe later today or tomorrow. So, what did we call? Race 3, China. Hamilton wins. Ricciardo first points. Torpedo strikes again. And Albon, sensational from the pit lane. There we have it, 1000th race in F1. Historic landmark. It definitely wasn't a historic race. Leave your comments down below, we'll always reply. And you may be the first to reply, you'll get your comment pinned. I'm feeling in a good mood, but the race was a snooze fest. Let's be real. It's a 2 out of 10 race rating. Adios.